So, regular show The Lost Tapes episode 8, The Beginson was officially premiered on May 2026. And in this video, we are going to break down complete episode in detail with all the information and our reviews. So at the start of the episode, we can see Mordecai and Rigby as the park gang members sitting outside the park house. Here we can also see Benson being there, and all of them have soda cans in their hands and they are cheering up for 6th anniversary of Benson as the park manager. Yeah, it's been 6 years since Benson has joined the park as a manager. They have led them to a great glory. And they all are just celebrating it. All of them were really happy. Mordecai and Rigby are also really happy. And very strangely, Benson is also very happy. You really see this that Benson is happy. The dude is most of the time, you can see, very frustrated of everything. And the reason all of us know Mordecai and Rigby, these two duo. Anyways, we can see that Benson told them that actually he started working in the park as a yard worker, and hearing this, Mordecai and Rigby were a lot of shocked and they wanted to know more about Benson's story. So Benson started telling them his story, and we have taken back into the time using a flashback. Yes, and there we saw that Benson was so young, stylish, and the most important thing, he have long hairs. Yes, he didn't have them now. Might be because of he have to, you can say, face so many problems now. We all know because of Mordecai and Rigby, the boy has so many things to manage. So might be that's why he didn't have them now. But at that time, he have a long hairs, a stylish appearance, and was so young as well, obviously. But that's not only because he was young. That's also because he was a part of a very popular band named Heir to the Throne. Yes, Heir to the Throne. The band name was also on the hair. Anyways, the band was very popular among the public and the people loved them. But here we see that there was an issue with the Benson, and that was his, you can say, characteristic of being professional and perfectionist, which he have now as well. Till now, we know that Benson is a character with you can say such type of features that he is so much professional and he's so much perfectionist. He need perfection in everything. He need professionalism in the work, in his job. So he was quite like that in that time as well. And you know that in the culture of the pop and in the pop, you can say bands like those, they have very good interaction with the public, their fans. And you can say there's not much need of such kind of professionalism, such kind of, you can say, perfectionist mindset. Obviously, the other members of the band aren't happy with this thing of Benson, and we see that when they were on their route to another town where they are going to perform in the bus, they asked Benson about that thing. They asked him that to, you can say, calm down and do not do such type of things as they aren't required for their you can say profession, obviously. But Benson said that he didn't do that again, but then he again do that, and so if, they got it that Benson can't change this habit, and due to this they were so much, you can say, angry that they kicked him out of the bus in the midway, and now the Benson is homeless as well as jobless. Yeah, definitely. And moreover, in the next scene, we can see that Benson is just running here and there because he's being very homeless and jobless too, as mentioned before. And he's just wandering in different streets and things like that when he suddenly came across the park. Yes, our own regular show park. But the park is not as it is now. It was very dirty, very nasty, very messy. Everything was so, like you could say, devastated. And the reason we will go later on in this episode that why the park was like that. But from the outside view, it was really looking bad that the park is something, because you can say it's just like a forest how nobody's taking care. Anyways, Benson had nothing to do with the park at that time. So he just, you can say, stopped at the front of the park and started doing his drumming practice because it was time for his practice. And that showed that how professionalism he had in himself, that even though he was kicked out of the band, he didn't have a job, he was homeless, he still had the practice at the practice time. And there we see that Pops reached to him and heard his drumming. He loved it a lot, as we all know that Pop's nature is very lovely. But from Benson, he's kind of a very special vibe and good feelings. And he suddenly offered Benson a job in the park, also offered him a residency inside the park house as a worker. And Benson was, you can say, kind of doesn't have any choices at that time. He accepted that offer. He went into the park where Pops introduced him to his current team, which includes Skips and Benson. Was also introduced then to Muscle Man and High Five Ghost. And here we see that High Five Ghost have kind of very stylish and long hairs at that time, which he don't have right now. We also don't know the reason behind this, but maybe due to the pressure of the work and having friends like Mordecai and Rigby later on have changed himself. Anyways, Skips was as he is right now. He was same at that time too. But Muscle Man, surprisingly, was a beach volleyball champion at that time in their local, you can say, club there.
Yes, he also has a scholarship for that.
Yeah. And here we also see that Monica and Rigby are definitely not here because they joined them later. And that's why they are telling them this story, because other park members already know the story. But anyways, here we introduced to another new character, which is actually the previous manager of the park, and the park manager at that time, who was Mr. Tox. And he is a very fat person with long hairs, and from appearance you can tell that he is just, you can say, not a professional person. He doesn't have any manners or like that. He's just there for his paycheck. He doesn't like working in the park. He doesn't even like working. He just want fun in his life. He just want a paycheck to get paid and get to spend that money over his fun and things like that. And here we see Pops is also very frustrated because of all of this. Pops had to do all the work list and give him to Mr. Talks daily. And because Mr. Talk doesn't like reading, Pops has to draw every task. Like if Pops want the fountain to be clean, he had to draw a clean fountain. So that Mr. Talks can understand, okay, you want the fountain to be clean. And even after doing all of this effort, when Pops handed over him the list, he just threw it away. And here we see once Pops leaves from there, Mr. Talks asked Benson that you are new here, you should offer some treat. And here Benson, being new and wanted to be nice with everyone, offers them a soda can as a cheering for joining his new job. And he gave a couple of bucks to Mr. Talks to bring the soda cans, and he took all of them and said, I will drink all the soda myself and keep the change too. And after saying this, he laughed and ran away from there. And there we see that other park gang members, Skips, Muscle Man, and High Five Ghost, they are very, you can say, aimless and doesn't know what to do. Because definitely, if your leader is like that, like Mr. Talks, who doesn't care about anything, what you can do? You don't have any objectives what to do. What you have to do? What is your aim? So they are just, you can say, also very stuck in kind of a dilemma. And there we see that Benson, who is being very professional, once he saw that to-do list, his professionalism wakes up inside him, and he said, if the task is assigned, we will have to do that task. And he takes on the lead from there. He goes with everyone, and all of them just flourished the park like a brand new park as we see nowadays. Everything was so clean and good again that you can't say it was a park a couple of, you can say, hours ago. It was the same park. It was quite very different. And after seeing this, obviously, Pops was very surprised to see. And then Pops was just going to ask who did this. And Benson was going to tell him that he and his team did this. Mr. Talks arrived there and takes all the credit to himself. He somehow diverted Pops' attention. As we all know that Pops is kind of a very positive person and very kind-hearted. It's really easy to, you can say, manipulate him. He doesn't know anything like that. And he just, you can say, diverted Pops' attention, Mr. Talks, and Pops go away from there. And there, Mr. Pops suddenly fired Benson and asked him to leave because he knows that he had the leadership qualities which Mr. Talks doesn't have, and he can take over the park as a manager and as a very good manager because he had changed the park in a couple of hours, you know. His professionalism is like that.
And yes, but he said to Mr. Talks, he replied to him that do not need to be worried as he is not here for a permanent basis. He is here for a temporary time because as soon as his band returned to their hometown, he will rejoin them and obviously again work as their drummer and everything gets, you can say, well again. However, just then at the moment we saw a poster of the band which is back in the town, but in the poster it is revealed that they have replaced their drummer, means Benson, with a drumming machine. They have Robotron 6. So obviously now they have a machine. They didn't want Benson with them. They have a machine that do a very well task for them, and they didn't have to care about Benson's professionalism or perfectionism, anything like that. They can do that with the machine, the drumming things which they need. However, still Benson thought that he should go there and you can say ask them about it, and you can say one time request them to allow him to rejoin for one time at least so he can approve, and they go and he go there and ask them that he will never do it again, and he apologized obviously and request them to take me again in that band, and I will never do this. But at the same moment there was a glass which was, you can say, uh, placed outside of a, you can say, plate, and he just put it inside the plate because of its perfectionism, and that's where the gang member said that you will never get, you can say, uh, out from this perfectionism. You can't do it, you can't leave it, so that's why we need to leave you, and they again kick him out. Now again, homeless and jobless, Benson was sitting again on the streets, and obviously he was so much disappointed. He was saying that nobody wants me, nobody wants anything, and nobody wants me, nobody likes me, and I have no skills and something like that. And just then, the Pops arrived there.
Yeah, and Pops wasn't alone. He was also accompanied with Skips and Muscleman and High Five Cruz, who all of them reached there to ask him to rejoin their team. But this time, not as a yard worker, this time as the manager of the park. Yes, Pops offered him the job as the manager of the park because Pops said that that Benson's team, which is, you can say, Muscleman, High Five Boost, and Skips, have told Pops everything, that it was actually Benson's leadership and their work, their force, that they have completely changed the park in just a couple of hours. It wasn't Mr. Talks. He was just, you can say, kind of a person who wants the paychecks and doesn't want anything from the park. And here we see that Benson was, first of all, a little bit frustrated. Frustrated, you can say, hesitated, because he knows that Mr. Talks is already there, and he's kind of very a person you don't want to challenge because he's very dangerous kind of person who can do anything for the money. But anyways, when Pops requested him and asked him that your first task is to eliminate Mr. Talks from the park, you have to fire him as a manager. And as we all know that Benson has that kind of bossy attitude, he said, "Okay, boss, let's do it." He went into the park, and there he finally confronted Mr. Talks, and he said him that I am the new manager of the park. And at this, Mr. Talks get really upset, and here we got a new twist in the storyline that Mr. Talks actually have a special ability. When he got upset, he turns into a green giant blob, a magical type of thing for him, and he turns into that and just started destroying everything in the park. And there we see that Benson revealed his own special powers as the manager of the park. He sent some special laser beams to him and burning him away all the time, and just, you can see, he was sucked away in that burn and he was gone. So Benson has successfully accomplished his first task as a manager, and from that day Benson is the manager of our beloved park, and he has managed it really well. So, and here we see that the flashback ended, and we are now in the present time, where Benson very, you can see he was very happy. We said at the start of the episode, and he very happily asked Mordecai and Rigby that what did you take from all this story? And Mordecai and Rigby, after thinking for a moment, said that, "Hey, Muscleman, you had a scholarship for volleyball and you were the volleyball champion." And after hearing this, Benson was again really frustrated that that's what you have taken from my emotional long life story. Anyways, that, you can say, that also confirmed that this duo can never be changed. Mordecai and Rigby. But overall, the episode was quite well, and that was the real actual fun of watching the Lost Tape series, because we finally got to see a lost past of the Benson, obviously one of the most beloved character of the series. So it was really good to see such episodes coming out now. Yeah, definitely. We have been introduced to this band before, and some in past of Benson, but we haven't been introduced completely his story of joining the park and things like that. And about the previous manager of the park, who was Mr. Turks. And we hope so that in the upcoming episode we even get to know more about other characters' past.
Yes, and he might could be returned as a villain as well, because his nature and character was so strong at that point. So that was really good to see. Anyways, that's all from this video. If you guys want more regular show breakdowns like these, and don't forget to subscribe this channel, click on the bell icon. More you can also at our website www.cartoongrave.com.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yes.